welcome back to our weekly Q&A show. We come on here every single week and answer your real estate questions. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
There's been so much going on in real estate. I'm sure you guys have been feeling it. I've been feeling it. But also what I don't want you guys and myself included to get caught up in is the mainstream media, the online posts, Facebook, Instagram, memes, whatever you want to call it, GIFs. What is happening to us? Gas is over $5 a gallon, averaging over America, our nation. This is ridiculous. We are living in historical times, but what makes it interesting is the type of real estate market we have as well. We're still in historical times with those sales prices. And so sellers, they're making a lot of good money. So our job is just to kind of be here as local representatives, but also to help educate you guys as brokers, whether you're new or have been in this business. And we have fun doing it all in our personal dining room.
Absolutely. And we did just do a video on our other channel called Real Estate with Mariah and Spence, where we talked all about what we are seeing right now in our real estate market. And I know I always love hearing what's going on in other markets. So if you're curious about what's happening over here and what we're seeing, go check that channel out. I can link that in the description below.
And that would be a good opportunity, though. Sorry to segue this one, for us to be referring partners. So if you have a client in your area that's wanting to get here to Oregon, please refer them. You know we're going to take great care of you. Our follow-up systems are better than anybody else's out there because we get the job done, and vice versa. And that's why creating opportunity and relationship with you guys in other states or nearby us. You can be a realtor in Oregon as well. Feel free to reach out because markets are always different.
Yes.
And I love relationships.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into these questions. We've got a variety of them here today. So first question, Steven Adams asks, does Spencer do a for sale by owner preview appointment or just follow up with them until they list? What does Spencer do?
And this is Mr. Adams?
Yeah, Steven. Okay. Mr. Steven.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Steven. So I do multiple things. Usually on the initial phone call, because I do a lot of cold calling with my for sale by owners. Lately, I've been doing a lot more video texting or just texting in general. I've been feeling a lot better response rates sending out text messages. So that is not the listing appointment. The listing appointment is what do you do once you do book an appointment to get your foot in the door to say, hey, this is what I'm here for. This is what we do for you to get your home sold. I generally stay away from the old bait and switch method. A lot of for sale by owners are just over that. I personally never had success with that when I first got into the business saying, hey, I have a buyer for you. Could you give me a free tour of your home so I could present it to them? And then once you get your foot in the door, you say, oh, I'm actually here to list your home. I never got great success rates with that. Some people actually do. I just feel a little too deceitful doing that, and that's just not how I figured to market. But the initial listing appointment, let's get back to that, is after all of the follow-up, getting your foot in the door. Generally, I'm setting up a listing appointment through these cold calls and text messages. And it takes me, on average, I'm telling you, 6 to 8 times. So I'm in my phone yesterday doing all my follow-up with all the for sale by owners. I've been looking after the last 2 months. I have 4 texts going back and forth with them, and then some I have conversations with just to establish some type of relationship. I have yet gotten the listing appointment with the majority of them, but out of 50 texts I sent yesterday, I got 1 appointment. And so that holds a great testimony. Every 100 calls you make, you get 2 appointments. Something with that way of prospecting, that was a good day's work for me.
That's awesome. And I mean, sending 50 text messages is pretty painless to get, an appointment.
I mean, spend an hour and a half, doing it or less. It's not that difficult. So just keep it organized. That's the biggie. How are you maintaining the follow-up and the contacts to send texts to? Generally, you can search through your phone, all the saved messages, a keyword, and bam, you have all the contacts for sell by owners. And
which we actually have a question we'll get to. It's later about keeping track of all these people. So we can talk a little bit more about that.
But the listing appointment is a little further on down the road.
Yes. So Shane Robinson asks, I would like advice on how to prep for a listing appointment. So that's kind of relevant.
What's your prep work? You were at the office yesterday. What'd you do?
Okay, so for me, what that looks like right now is I'm going to, of course, do a market analysis. I'm going to, usually what I do is I'll actually do a market analysis, and I will have, because there's two of us, I'll have him do a market analysis as well separately. We won't like tell each other our numbers, and we'll look at them, and I'll be able to see like, okay, did we get a similar number? It's really nice having a second opinion.
How was that yesterday?
We were very, very close.
Okay,
yeah.
that's all I want to hear.
Our CMAs were very close.
I love it.
Yeah, I just did that yesterday. So sorry, I just need to adjust my chair. Okay, so of course, the market analysis is super important, and just like studying the comps and everything that's recently sold in the neighborhood. And then I used to print a listing presentation and send it in the mail. I haven't done that in a long time.
I'd say if you have time, like a week until the listing appointment, maybe do that.
Right.
But generally, you're booking listing appointments 2 to 3 days out.
Yes. And I'm going to print a trio. So basically what that is, if you're not familiar, is like the information on title, like from the county of the home. Because a lot of times the sellers don't have that, and it just looks professional to have all that information on you up front and bring it with you. And then I have a sheet that I have made, just a document I made on my laptop that's our client testimonials. And so not all of them, just a handful. So I will print that as well and leave that. And then I just have some information that I also print and give them. That's just like tips for the home selling process, that type of thing.
And
I
generally,
don't think I'm missing anything.
You're not necessarily going over paper, or at least I'm not in these listing appointments preparing to get the listing. For the most part, I've done this so many times. I have bullet points to hit, but also remember, everybody you meet with is different. Every seller is different. Everybody has different personalities. And sometimes they're asking you questions that sometimes you just don't have a great response to. And my response is always, let me get back to you. That's a great question. I don't really have the answer in front of me. Let me get back to you by the end of the day. But juggle the different personalities you're seeing on a weekly basis during these listing appointments. And so for me, I prioritize kind of memorizing bullet points to hit during my conversation, whether that's a conversation through the tour. Usually they give you a tour of the home for you to see it. I'm always walking around with a clipboard. I'm old school, baby. I'm like that old football coach with a clipboard, a pen, and a notepad. I'm taking notes. Whether these notes are important or not, I'm trying to remain eye contact with these sellers because I want them to understand I'm listening to them. If you're not listening to them and you're Mr. Know-It-All, you're Mr. Professional, you walk in with this suit, I've had some bad assumptions made because they thought maybe I'm thinking I'm better than them in some way, which clearly I'm not. I know I'm not better than anybody. But the reality is I want them to feel respectful and honored because I'm in their home.
Right.
We've worked to this point to get inside of a seller's home to list their home and tell you what you can do for them to make them money. So make them feel as important and special as possible. And sometimes it's as simple as a pen and notepad and writing down things they're telling you.
I think what's different that's all really good. I'm like taking notes here. Like I'm going to apply some of that myself. But so for me though, the way my listing appointment and presentation and stuff has changed is when I was newer, I thought about it more as giving a presentation, and that was more of my prep work. But also the demographic who I was working with at the time was for sell by owners, people that don't already know me, people that haven't decided to work with me, that I have to really work hard to get my foot in the door, which is kind of the difference between, that's not.
Those appointments are so much different.
Yes. That's sometimes you get a lot more referrals and that type of thing now, but you do work with some for sell by owners still. And so that's a lot more that type of listing appointment. I really don't go on those type of listing appointments very often anymore. Yeah. Most of my listing appointments are either someone from an online video who's either already made their mind up that they're going to use me because they can see that they feel like they know, like, and trust me from watching videos.
And that's real estate, relationship.
Yes. Or a referral from someone I know, past client, have worked with another agent from here or something like that. And so because of that, they've already made up their mind they're going to work with me. That know, like, and trust factor is there. And I don't have to do the whole, instead of the whole, let me give you this presentation and show you why I'm the best and why my company is the best. My prep work is more I focus more on like getting to know the neighborhood really well if I don't already, the house, the comps, like that type of thing. That's more my prep work. And then from there, just showing up at the appointment and being ready to listen. Like you said, it's about the seller, making it about them. I've heard so many times when I was working with for sale by owners, I would get the comment a lot of like, we chose to work with you because all the other agents came in and they just wanted to tell us everything that they knew, but we didn't really feel like they cared or they listened, and you actually listened to us. And so asking them questions, letting them talk, getting to know, their home and their history and all of that with the home. And it kind of takes the pressure off in a way, because it's not about going in and giving them this presentation and proving to them why you're the best. It's more about just like obviously being the professional and knowing your stuff, and trusting that you do know what you're doing and you have the expertise, and being able to answer any questions they have about the process and whatnot. But, and of course, walking them through that when it's time, but really just, it's about them.
That's so good.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it is about them. And there's a glow of confidence you can have as a broker that makes it as you are the professional, you set the tone, and you respect and honor people, because this is a relational business. So everything Mariah just said is so absolutely true. But there are two different types of appointments, like she just said.
Absolutely.
Which honestly, I've kind of forgotten about, because I look at everything as like a competition. I'm here to win because I know I'm competing against other agents. We're in a day and age with so many other agents out there. How can we help you get the job? Is why you're maybe listening. And there's multiple things you could just taken out of this conversation. Replay this, rewind it. That was super good.
Right. Okay. Next question. Holy cow. This next question is, it's kind of a lot of questions in one. It's from one person though, so I wanted to include all of them instead of like coming back to her. Okay. So this might take a minute. So grab your tea or your coffee or your popcorn. Abby Gia asks. Abby Gia. Whoa. Okay. I need to like breathe before I read all this. I'm thinking about getting into real estate, and you mentioned in a video that every day is different. But do you have an estimate of hours, what time you usually start or end the day, how often you work from home and are at the office, and how often you work on weekends? I also saw in one of your videos you said that you can kind of take on as much work as you want. What do you mean by that? Did you get a lot of calls at random times, like weekends and after business hours when you first started, and where you had to drop everything and go show houses? So that was like 5 questions in one.
Dude, that's like kind of explaining our life right now. You and I were talking about this yesterday even. I send you a text. I'm like, and you're sending me a text. You're like, man, I got so many clients. I'm kind of feeling overwhelmed right now, which is awesome. But at the same time, that's self-awareness, and you need to understand how much you can juggle as an agent, how much your workload should be. Let's first digest the beginning of this, though.
Yes. But also, like what you were saying, our version at this point in our lives, and in our business, our version of feeling overwhelmed with too much, like, I don't know, just working too much is still a lot less than what I think a lot of other people,
I think so too.
Because of the way we've structured our business, because of the way we've been so intentional, and thank goodness, but because of the way our average price point has gone up so much, we are able to work way less and make a lot more, if that makes sense, which is such a blessing that we do not take for granted. But we really, really do focus on living a slower life because we have, we're parents, and we
you want to prioritize
other things.
What your value is.
Yes.
Mine, it's, am I being a good father? Am I being a good husband? Am I being a good head of the house? Am I being a good leader?
Yeah.
Am I there for the people around me that need me?
Yeah.
And if you're not, that means you're just kind of overworked. Right. You're just overstretched, and you can't be at multiple places at one time.
Right. And for me, like he was just saying, I was texting him this, if I'm starting to get to the point where I feel like, okay, I'm having to do some work like after my daughter goes to bed, or I feel like it's pulling into my time as a mother or whatever, then I'm like, okay, I'm passing them on to you, or we'll refer them out to someone else, because that's just a priority for me. So totally. Okay, so that getting back into this question. Huge. Yes, awareness and discernment on where you're at in life. Because if it was me 5 years ago, then of course I was go, gone all day, and that was fine. But that's just not where we're at right now. So, okay.
Sentence number 1.
Number 1, you mentioned every day is different. Do you have an estimate of your hours, when your day starts and finishes, and how often you work from home and at the office? And how often do you work on weekends?
So basically, you're wanting this
To,
is
like, a
this
day
is
in
my
the life.
assumption of that question is like, how much can I get away with working and not working?
Yeah.
Is that kind of it? Which, I mean, to be in this business, a lot of people do get in this business for that reason. Maybe you got kids like we do, or this just fits your personality a lot better. To not be held in an office all day from 9 to 5, that's something that's important and valuable for my mental health, especially.
Right. Something I think about a lot is that's the beauty of this business is there is no glass ceiling. So it's kind of like you have to have self-control not to, if you're someone who's like me, like very like self-motivated and driven and like you just want to keep going, you have to tell yourself to push back, because I remind myself, like, at the end of the day, that's why we choose to be a business owner and run this business is because we want the freedom and the flexibility to like be with our daughter all day and all of that.
Yeah. But to summarize, I mean, for us personally, this isn't everybody. This is just us and our story. This is what I see. Mariah's read a book to me, and that was kind of life-changing. We're talking about this last night even, because this is a relevant conversation. The 4-Hour Work Week, I think it was, that book.
Yes, it's a great book.
Now, by all means, we don't only work 4 hours a week, but
it kind of feels like our
goal is like we integrate business with lifestyle.
Yeah.
That is how we create. Okay. So am I actually managing my hours per day working?
Right.
The real answer is no, because I've integrated it into my own personal life. But actual steps to gain business is what I think that question is related to.
Right.
I would say 2 to 3 hours a day. 2 to 3 hours a day.
You should be able to make.
You should be
6
able
figures.
to make, I'd say 6 figures prospecting wise.
Yeah. If you're going after the right clients, if you're efficient, if you're wise with your
productive.
time, if you're doing things well.
Man, dude, these allergies are really
like
bad
for
here
example,
in Oregon. Sorry, I keep
for
sniffling
you,
in the mic.
So, like for example, yesterday you didn't end up doing this, but your plan was, plans changed, but his plan was to go lay by the pool while he worked. Yeah. Is that working?
That was a realistic plan.
Yeah, it's work. He was planning on working, but he was by the pool. So it's
90
like
degrees.
He's still working, but it's like, it's very difficult to calculate how many hours. And of course you have to keep in mind when you're brand new, I always think back to, I'm speaking from where we're at now in our business, but when I was just starting out, I don't know. I was doing so much, putting in so many hours. I don't know if things would be the same.
Putting in all those hours, being a new agent, that's a real relevant.
Well, okay. I think a lot of it was because I tried everything and I wanted to not miss out on anything. And I was really just trying anything and everything I could get my hands on and think of, sending mail and letters to anyone I could think of in the world. Like, holy cow, so much mail.
Which, by the way, all this costs money.
Yes.
It's not free.
And very time consuming. But I think it would have been very beneficial if I could have found what worked for me a little sooner and just zeroed in on that instead of wasting time trying to do everything, just focused on what was working. That's kind of the key. Focus and find what works for you. So maybe you have to try everything, but find one thing that works, whatever that is, and then just put all your focus and intention on doing more of it and doing it better so that you can spend less time doing it and make more money. You know, like when I first started making video. When you first start, it'll take you all day, but then pretty soon you can take 10 minutes and make a video and then get a bunch of money and clients from it. So it's like,
buy some cool equipment.
Yes. Where was I going with this? I was going to say something.
Dial in.
Darn. No, I was totally going to say something. What was I just saying?
Well, while you're thinking about it, I'm going to say this applies to dialing in because of my wrestling background. What's in your toolbox? Are you good on your feet? Are you good on bottom? Are you good on top? Do 3 moves: a takedown, a reversal, and a pinner. It's the same thing in real estate, and that's how I applied it to our business. What am I best at? Let's dial in on it and produce off of it.
That's good.
And you're going to create pipeline, and pipeline is closings, escrows, and then clients.
I remembered what I was going to say, but that was really good.
Let's do it.
I remembered. I love a good analogy.
Yeah. Not everybody's a wrestler, though.
Oh my gosh, true. Okay, so what I was gonna say is I've heard, because I've watched, I've always watched so many different like real estate training and stuff online, and that's been something that's been very beneficial to my business from the beginning. But one thing that I've heard time after time from so many different people is that you need to have at least 3 different or at least 5 different forms of prospecting. Like each line is like a line you're putting into the water and you're fishing, and you have to have this many or you're not going to be able to have a successful business.
Which
and
you can.
You can, but from our experience, that's BS because we do not, and we're running a very successful business. So I do not, I focus on one right now. That's it. You focus on, I don't know how many, but.
Which that's all just personal decisions and what works best in the markets you're in. This is Oregon.
Right. But I don't think that it's so true nowadays. I don't think it's true that you have to have like all these ways.
Not.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with having more than one, but I think if you're talking about making more money and working less hours, find one and then just focus on doing more of it and doing it better and more efficiently.
Absolutely.
Yes. So did that answer the question?
We went to a 4-hour work week. I think, ideally hours spent, like I said, 2 to 3 hours, worth of prospecting to gain new clients. New clients creates pipeline creates money creates cash flow. That's a business.
And another thing, that's something that separates, like if you're watching this YouTube channel and the videos that we put out, that's something that separates our videos from a lot of these others YouTube training, because I said, I've spent a lot of time listening to YouTube training, and every single one of them that I've seen, at least if there's one that I have, maybe I haven't seen it, but they all push like you need to have structured business hours, or you need to work from at least like 9 to 5, or you need to hustle. Like they all push like working way more. And I'm like, is no one out there I'm sure there's other people out there, but
well, here's the deal. You wanted to get away from school. Mariah did not like school. To me, a lot of those programs, nothing wrong with them. They're absolutely fantastic. But in a weird sense, a lot of realtors are in the same way in Mariah's boat. They wanted to get away from that structure, that institutionalization, and the I guess structure of schedule.
Right.
What are you doing from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.? Because all of us living in America went to that school system. We all did that. We figured out whether that was good for us or not good for us. And the cool part about being a business owner is you do as you please, because we live in America, the land of the free. I'm prepping 4th of July because we're a patriot, baby. This is a rant if you haven't figured that out yet. But
coming up.
Seriously, that is why we're in business, for you to make the choice.
Right.
Now do your own education. Keep watching these videos. Keep watching other people's videos.
Right. And you have to do what's best for you.
Exactly.
And that's so true. But from what we are, I don't want to say selling, but we are like what we are giving and teaching, I guess you could say, on our channel isn't how to sell 100 homes a year, because that's not our goal even. It's how to make a 6-figure plus income a year while working the minimal hours and enjoying your life and having balance and all of that. Because that is to us the goal, not selling a zillion homes.
Enjoy your life.
Yes.
We've talked about this, I believe on our other podcast, is like, where are you going to be most happy at? Like, what makes you happy? Like I just told you my priorities: being a good father, husband, being there for others. If you're so busy, you can't actually, sorry, the neighbor's looking at me through the window. But if you're so busy, you can't actually enjoy the simple things in life, then something needs to change and be restructured, because your happiness, I believe, is by far more important than work or money.
Totally. And I do think also like different seasons shift your priorities. Like when I first got into real estate, I was 18, and then I was in my early 20s and young, but married, but no kids. And so my priorities were a lot different, but now my priorities have shifted, and maybe in a different season when
100%.
When I have older kids, maybe not, but maybe my priorities will be back to that, like work, appointment to appointment schedule. I don't know, but we'll see. But you have to take it, season by season. Yeah. So, okay. So getting through this question slowly but surely, do you get a lot of random calls at times like weekends and after business hours? We have to drop everything and show houses. So for me at least, oh my gosh, when I was a new agent, that was all the time. But like I said, that also speaks to who I was working with. Okay. We spoke on in a past episode, talking about getting leads. Zillow, like a lot of Zillow leads, like, that's what you're going to have to do. Drop everything and show them this house. First time buyers. Honestly, when I got leads from like Instagram more often, it was a lot of those type of like first time home buyer price point where you have to like drop everything and show a house. Now, because of our demographic, our price point, our type of clients, it's not so much. Honestly, it's hardly ever. And if it is, it's not a big deal to me. I don't really care. it's usually not super time consuming. It's like, okay, I live in town. I'll drive 5 minutes and
that's the cool
and
part.
go show a house and then get back to what I was doing. It's not like this all day thing. Or usually for me, it's a video tour and it's still not drop everything. It's like we can schedule it. So
I've
very
been
rarely.
loving those video tours, by the way. Seriously, because we do really unique tours for our out-of-state clients that can't fly here right away. They might have a particular weekend they're in town, but in the meantime, we're still showing them houses, whether it's 1 or 3 houses a day. They need the opportunity to see houses, which that's people's right. If you want to move to a particular area, I think that we have definitely been outperforming any and every other agent in our area just with our video tours. I mean, it's been pretty unbelievable to write offers sight unseen and close deals that way.
It's amazing.
That's a new business model that Mariah's integrated, and it's been fabulous.
It's been the biggest blessing ever, especially being a mom and being able to bring my daughter and like,
right.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so I think we can move on to the next question finally.
Yeah, let's go.
Riley Gower asks,
what's up, Riley?
I'm trying to figure out if real estate is for me. Can you tell me what are the pros and cons about the job? What is the pay, the daily schedule? I would love to know more about what you think. Thank you so much.
Okay.
What is the average? Okay, I'm going to Google this. What is the average income for a real estate agent? Because
that's a good one. Well, I could go off of average sale amounts, 7 to 12 homes. The average sale price here in Salem is about $430,000. If I had my phone on me, just do 2.5% of $430,000 times 7 on a low end. You're paid on a W-2. What's that income show you? And that could probably be your annual GCI. Now, out of those commissions, save 33% tax in a savings account. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. For at the end of the year, you have your tax fund.
In 2020, the average pay for real estate agents was $49,000. The lowest 10% of earners made less than $25,000, while the highest 10% of earners made more than $112,000. That's not that much.
See, and that's
that's
what I mean.
There's a lot more opportunity, though. You can make a lot more than that.
If you read those statistics, that's actually very discouraging.
Yes,
but
it is. It doesn't have to be like
true,
that.
though.
Yeah.
For our Salem, or for our area, but even maybe your area, 20% of the agents do 80% of the business.
Yeah.
There is so much market out there if you're actually performing and working to go out and make money and produce. It's up to you entirely, and that is a job factor for this business. So what made us want to choose real estate? That was part of the question, right?
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
like
so
that.
what made you
like
want to
that.
get into real estate, Mariah? What made it more appealing for you and to stick with it?
The fact that, one, there's no glass ceiling. It is what you can make it. It can be literally anything that you want. The fact that you can run your business however you want. You can make your hours. You can choose when and how you want to work and how often and, all of that. And, of course, the getting to work with buyers and sellers and just people, like getting to have close relationship with people, because it truly feels like it doesn't feel like work. Like I can honestly, I don't know if it's like that for you, but
it doesn't.
It does.
That's why we'd like
not feel like work. Even when
integrated
I'm, working, like it doesn't ever feel like it. And so that's also why it's probably really hard to answer the question of like, how often do you work? Like, I don't know. I'm talking to people and it's fun, right? Like I'm giving them real estate advice. I'm telling them about something that I'm passionate about, and it doesn't.
I get a call, I answer it. If I get a voicemail, I still answer it with my voicemail.
Feel like work.
And you get to get back to somebody.
Right.
I don't know.
But I know every person's different. Every personality is different. Every, one's made to do different things. So that's a pro for us. A lot of these things about real estate, I've talked to, I have a lot of friends that are like, tell me everything about it, like sounds horrible to them. Like it sounds like the opposite of their dream job. So all of these things could be cons to you. So a lot of it's just personal preference.
Yeah. I like the motivation factor. I like kind of that no risk reward factor too. Mariah's all about that. That's like how she grew up. That's her business. The more risk, the more opportunity, but also the harder you can fall. So you want to be careful with that. But if you're an individual that has high leadership qualities and characteristics, that's a motivated, high tempo individual, especially that can talk to people and relate and have empathy, this could be the best business you ever enter.
Yes, I would say it's the best thing we ever did is doing this together. Okay, so the last question today is from Natalia YC.
Hey, Natalia.
She says, how do you keep track of everyone that you talk to? I'm confused about how realtors keep track of all these people.
Okay. So I have systems in place. Berkshire Hathaway, for one, has an excellent CRM system. Mm-hmm. That is where I can input all of our clients. I can categorize them buyer, seller. I can even put them on a property watch that dials in the specific area, whether it's zip code, town, state. I can put in the specific home that they're looking for, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot type thing, and particular area, and it will automatically send them an email with those homes that are appropriate for them. So they're not getting a ton of emails they don't want to see or homes they don't want to see. They're actually getting specific homes that are made for them that they're looking for. So that saves them time, and it also saves me time, but also it keeps us organized in ways that we couldn't even imagine. Our clients are able to take notes out of it. They're able to like homes. It automatically sends us feedback saying, hey, Spence, I want to see this home, this date, this time. So I don't even have to talk to them individually. It just comes through my email, and I set up an appointment then and there, and then I say, hey, your appointment's confirmed at this time. Mm-hmm. CRM systems are very important, though, and that's how I'd say keeping track of your clientele is doable for me, but also I simply do it in my phone notes.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you were expecting a more like a fancier answer, but I use the note section in my phone. That's how I keep track of things. I have a past client list, and I write out my past clients and their anniversaries and their 6-month anniversaries of when they bought the house. And I keep that in the note section in my phone. I have a separate one that's for a tab that's for in my Mac that's for all of my clients ever. And then I have one that's for my like top ones that I'm like, you guys get extra flowers, you get extra mail. Like I don't send a lot of mail to my past clients, but you know, Christmas cards, that kind of thing. I don't really go that all out with my past client follow up, but
that's how, kind of how I've been keeping track of like current clients. And I do that with current clients, past clients, and usually out of state clients, like particular buyers that are looking for a certain home. That's where I'm putting them in the CRM system because it's so good. They're getting sent every home on market through every MLS system. That's why I love Berkshire Hathaway in our systems. But the current clients, new clients, I'm literally just adding them into my phone in the note section. I have an iPhone, and I go through the list because the phone's always in our hands, right? And that's what makes it so doable for me, at least, is I don't have to actually get on my laptop and log in. Mm-hmm. It's on my notes. And I just scroll through. I'm in the office prospecting, or I'm in the car waiting. I can make 5 simple calls that way.
Right. Yeah.
To follow up and check on.
Yeah. I think, I mean, that's simple. It works for us, and that's how we've done it. So if you're listening to this and you have a better way, or just maybe a different way of keeping track of your clients, how you keep track of phone numbers, contact information, past clients, any of that, let us know in the comment section below. We love learning from you guys too, and just having discussions in the comment section with you guys, and of course amongst the other realtors that are listening as well. Mm-hmm. That's always a good thing.
Can I add a new system though? That I have just integrated into our business. It's called HomeBot. My lender actually referred me to it, and I partnered with him. I only pay $25 a month, and I can add up to 5,000 past clients, current clients, buyers, sellers into this system, and I think that's very valuable. The way I saw it as a follow-up mechanism for past clients. That's how I'm looking at it. Of course, we can use it for current clients or out-of-state clients because it gives you an automated email every month. It's not super annoying. Some of us have always had, some emails that just don't stop, and it's from particular people or companies, and then you always press unsubscribe. This is not like that, and it's actual factual information, which I love.
That's cool.
And the reason I'm using it is because I was personally receiving these emails from purchases you and I have made through our lender, and I was like, what is this?
We actually click on it.
Yeah,
usually we ignore emails, but we want to know the home, different
our
homes'
home
values. Yeah, that's what
it's such
everyone
plain
wants to know.
English.
Yeah.
You can't really get annoyed or nobody not understand it. That's what I like about it. It's called HomeBot, and I'm using it as a resource for past clients, especially my buyers that have purchased a property. It gives them an automatic email every month.
That's cool.
About the current estimated value or appreciation that their home is worth based off their loan information, and they have all the control to put in, what they put down so they can keep tabs on.
That's awesome.
What they actually owe. So I think that's been pretty
And anyone can
helpful.
sign up for this for their clients.
Anybody, all you need is their full name and email address and a property address they particularly want to keep tabs on. Like I said, I've been using it for a lot of my buyers and past clients to keep them informed on the market that they purchased, and it's routinely putting your face on their email.
That's
monthly.
awesome. I love hearing about tools that are actually working from, other people and what they're doing in their businesses. And that's not sponsored, but
No, it's not sponsored
HomeBot,
at
if you
all.
want to sponsor us.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our last question. So we're going to wrap things up. But if you have watched this video all the way through, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We come on here every single week and answer your questions. We have a lot of great questions that are just waiting to be answered in future videos that we have been, keeping for you guys. So keep sending us your questions and we will keep answering them. Best way to contact us is through our website or our email address, like we said, which is in the description below.
Make your business recession proof.
Yes.
Don't get caught up in the media, the headlines. All my clients, I feel like, myself included, I'm trying to disassociate with that. They have been not misinformed because a lot of this is happening, but the fear tactic of them not wanting to purchase or thinking your real estate market isn't as strong as it was 2 weeks ago. It's different, okay? And you as a broker can educate yourself on your own area, but what I say is take advantage of a market that shows it's not as relevant as it was 2 months ago.
Right. I have
take advantage of it.
Like you were saying, I have seen a lot of unnecessary fear from buyers because of headlines we're seeing. And if you're seeing that too, our video, like we mentioned earlier, on the Real Estate with Mariah and Spence channel that we just put out about what we're seeing in the market could definitely help you with talking to those buyers and easing their pain or what was it? What's the right word? Easing their questions, their hesitation to buy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week.